My camera is frozen. One moment. Haha! And we live. Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. Happy birthday to Adam. It's Adam's birthday. An exciting day today. Excited to get into some of these games. In this series, we are highlighting games that touch upon, discuss, or in some way interact with mental health. The theme of mental health. We have some interesting games today. Some relatively short games. Last week we did Persona 4, which is longer probably than every other game done so far combined. But today, especially, some relatively short ones. We're going to be starting off with Celeste, if you couldn't tell from the music in the intro. That is from Celeste. We're going to be touching on The Missing, J.J. Macfield and the Island of Memories, which is sort of the game that largely inspired this series, along with Psychonauts 2, which we'll be getting to, I think, next week. We'll be checking out Journey, the PS3 game, also on Steam. And the last one, I don't know if I can call it a game. Maybe. It's called Spirit City Lofi Sessions. And it's more of a tool, I think, than a game. But it's kind of a game. I don't know, but I want to talk about it. So we're going to be talking about that today as well. I have to be careful not to beat Journey, because it's one of those games. It's not very long. It's like 90 minutes. And I was getting all these games set up yesterday, making sure the controls and everything worked. And when I started playing Journey, I just lost myself and was just having an amazing time. And it made me late, so I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Celeste, interestingly enough, I have never played before. I touched it for the first time yesterday. I read up on it, so I'm aware of the themes, and it's been on my list to play for a long time. Just never had the opportunity. Started playing it, really loved it, so I'm definitely going to be playing that one. We'll be checking out some of the early parts of that. We'll be checking out early parts of The Missing, and early parts of Journey as well. Now, for The Missing in particular, it does have some pretty strong themes of bodily harm and of suicide. So if those are triggering for you, it just heavily involves those themes. But I think it handles everything very well. But first, let's talk about Celeste. Let's see here. So much stuff on my screen, I can't see. Which of these is Celeste? Should be here. How's everyone doing this weekend? Hopefully having a good weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. Why do I not see it on my list of games? It's not selectable on OBS. It's very strange. What if I do this? That might do it. Move this over. Make the game big. Nope, can't see it. What if I do that? Can't see that either. I had it working. Let's just capture the whole screen. Why not? Hopefully that'll work. Display. Okay. Here we go. Transition. All right, can we see the game? Hopefully. See and hear? Or did I muted it, didn't I? Yep. Bam. can't click out of it. Doesn't like that. Okay, should be good. All right, so I did make a save. I'll show the beginning of this, and then we'll skip to my save a little further ahead. And then, I don't know, we'll see how far we want to go. This is it, Madeline. Madeline? Just breathe. Why are you so nervous? Alright, here we are. I believe the title character's name is Celeste, but I'm actually not sure. That's right, I don't have all my abilities yet. But it's very, so far it's been minimalistic in its storytelling. There's just been like little conversations here and there. But I think the gameplay and the atmosphere are helping to assist in telling the story that it's telling. Unfortunately, it has what I think is my most hated things in games, is this like fake speaking. It's what prevented me from playing Okami, because for whatever reason, I can't stand it. Don't like an Animal Crossing. Just makes my soul angry. And I don't know why. Just don't give me anything. By the way, you should call someone about your driveway. The ridge collapsed and I nearly died. My driveway almost did you in. The mountain's gonna be a bit much for you. Madeline's the character's name. Yeah, that makes sense. Of course. Well, if an old bat like you can survive out here, I think I'll be fine. I do love the portraits. They're very expressive. But you should know, Celeste Mountain is a strange place. You might see things. Things you ain't ready to see. You should seek help, lady. But we have another ability. The dash. So I believe this is made by the same person who made Towerfall. Certainly shares the same art style, and the controls feel similar in a lot of ways. And I absolutely love Towerfall. So I kind of have a bit of a leg up in terms of controlling this character. It felt very natural to me starting out. I've definitely enjoyed it quite a bit so far. But it's interesting. So you have your jump, a single jump, you can climb, but you can't do that dash move, which you can do it in any direction. You'll notice your hair changes blue when you do it. But you can't do it again until you touch ground. At least for now. So I can jump off, I can do it, but I couldn't dash again until I had reset on the ground. It also, the dash has some other unique properties, which we'll see. Never finished Celeste, Adam. It definitely feels like a game I want to finish. I've heard it gets pretty tricky. And it also has these optional strawberries that you can collect. Again, once you have them, you have to safely touch ground before you actually collect them. But once you have them, if you die, you still have them. Just as long as you had touched ground. But if I had died before I had touched ground, which I'll show you on a later one, then you lose it. And so yeah, I see this game as trying to talk about, to showcase anxiety. We'll see it in some other conversations as we go along, but so if I die here, then that doesn't count as getting the strawberry. Which the strawberries seem to be optional. So it's just an extra added challenge. Oh, shouldn't have done that. That's fine. But the character of Madeline seems to have a lot of self-doubt. Doesn't believe in themselves, but has something that they want to accomplish. Oh, and I think that's a very commendable thing. I don't see a reason to get over there, but I want to get over there. Oh, no! Should have went to the other side. Just want to see if there's anything over there. Oh! But there definitely have been some challenging parts. I'm making this part more challenging than it needs to be, but I want to see. Oh, I thought there'd be something hidden there. You can only also hold on for so long. So if I hold on, you'll notice I start to flash. The controller starts to vibrate as my grip starts to loosen. There we go. So I guess if you're moving up and down, that might do it faster. I'm not exactly sure what leads, if it's just a timer-based thing or what, but you'll be affected by momentum by some of the platforms. Oh, and so these ones, if it has a wing, if I use my boost, it flies away, and I can't collect it anymore. But what I think is most interesting about this game, so far anyway, oh no, is... So I think the theme is really cool, and I think it uses a small amount of dialogue in order to effectively convey its theme of the self-doubt and this metaphorical, as well as literal in this case, mountain that we're trying to climb. I think that because of its interactive nature, I think that gives that message power. However, because it is challenging, I think that this highlights one of the, I would say, hindrances or downfalls of video games as art, in that there is more of a barrier to entry a lot of times to games than there are to other mediums. Do I want to go up there? There's certainly an amount of literacy required in order to like fully find the meanings between, you know, certain books, certain that's right, I want to write this up. Certain books, certain films, poetry. But because this game is challenging, and as far as I can tell, there's only really one, or I guess you could call it two difficulty levels, where it's easier if you just ignore the strawberries, and more challenging if you try to get all of the strawberries. But there is just sort of a level of difficulty that you have to be able to overcome in order to progress in the game and in the story. And so that can be limiting. I think the only way to solve something like that would be some sort of like smart difficulty system that was able to adjust to the player to give them just the right amount of challenge. Because different gamers have different skill levels. But again, like reading or film study or anything like that, if you put time into it, you can get better at it and be able to expose yourself to more things. So maybe it's not that much of an issue, but I did think about that while playing this. because I do think the message is a wonderful one, but like I don't think my mom would get very far in this. Although I think she would enjoy the atmosphere of it, the characters. What did I do here before? Oh yeah, and so those green crystals give you another boost. Bookbee says, I hear that, great stories and experiences, but when how much of the story you get is determined by your skill level, that could be difficult. And you see a lot of games nowadays incorporating like story modes or casual modes that make it so that the barrier of failure is a very low one, so people can continue to experience things. But it's a tough one because I think that's fine in games that utilize a lot of cutscenes and non-interactivity in order to put forth the themes of the game. But I don't think it would work as well in something like The Missing, which we'll see. And I don't think it works well in something like a Doom Eternal, as another example. Hello, Kane. Thanks for joining us. Has anyone in chat finished Celeste? About how long does it take? My problem now is the games I'm playing just takes so long to beat. I love Yakuzas, but they're so long. Nope. Yeah, I like everything about this game so far. Like I said, yesterday was my first time touching it, and I only got into chapter 2. Oh, my hair was already blue. Like, without a HUD, it manages to convey everything that it needs to. I can tell how many jumps I have. Oh, man, should have went higher. Same thing again. Nope. Oh yeah, okay, we did make it. Sweet. Alright, I actually want to skip ahead. Let's return to map. I think. I'm gonna get to my save game. 22 hours for the extra levels. How long to beat? Has it at 9? That's not too bad. Oh, I didn't realize it. I noticed this before. Okay, just got clear stuff. Still cool. But I thought there might be like Madeline's journal so I could read her thoughts or something. Alright, how do I go back? Just climb? Yeah, okay. This should be right before we get to chapter 2. Well, guess not, but this is the part I want to talk about anyway. Madeline, darling, slow down. Who said that? Oh, I'm simply a concerned observer. Are you me? I'm part of you. Why would part of me look so creepy? It's just what I look like, okay? Deal with it. Sorry, I didn't mean... Forget about it. Can't tell you what a relief it is to finally get out of your head. But look, I'm worried about us. We need a hobby, but this... No, it sounds crazy, but I need to climb this mountain. There are many things, darling, but you are not a mountain climber. Who says I can't be? No, it's not your strong suit, but be reasonable for once. You have no idea what you're getting into. You can't handle this. That is exactly why I need to do this. Are you the weak part of me or the lazy part? But yeah, I think it's interesting. Again, we saw this a little bit in Persona 4, but this idea of a shadow self, an actual personification of your self-doubt in the game. I'm curious to see. Like I said, I haven't actually played through this game before, but I'm curious to see how this character works, if it becomes like a boss at some point, if it factors into the gameplay at all. Future interactions with this, I'm very curious to see. I'm the pragmatic part. I'm trying to be diplomatic here. Let's go home together. I love how her portrait goes out of the portrait window. So expressive. Okay, well, it is a boss. So those you can dash through, and it continues to dash you into the direction of them. I probably need to dash into her. But if you dash into a wall, you die. If you go through those and into a wall. Can I stomp on her head like in Towerfall? Nope. Let's try that first. Yeah, do I like that? Personification of imposter syndrome, I think, is a good representation. Do I just escape? Oh, no, I want the strawberry. Accept my fate. That way, and then that way. Ah! Thematically, I hope at some point in this game we merge with this version of ourselves and become stronger than ever before. Always like that. I don't know how to get there. I thought it would be Metal Man in Mega Man 2, where if I didn't move, she wouldn't move. That is not the case. Oh, I see. So that's gonna move that. Oh, I could crush her. Get her. Okay, I gotta stop there. Because I think she's replicating my movements. This music rocks, by the way. Yeah. Oh, not long enough. I wonder if I need to get her on the way back. It moves down kind of fast, though. That's not gonna do it. Maybe I can't crush her. We just have to avoid her. Wow. Nope, that's the block. Okay. Oh, almost. See those spikes? I was looking ahead. Should have been looking where I was going. What am I doing wrong? Nope. Alright, so is it if I start it like if I dash, so I think I want to start further away. Something wrong. Nope. But yes, if you've never watched any of my other Roll with Punches videos before, I do struggle with anxiety. I've also, I would say continue to, but more in the past have struggled with imposter syndrome. This idea of, like, just not good enough. Like I'm fooling people in the things that I do or have done. Which I would like to do a full video on imposter syndrome someday. Wow. Okay. What do we do? No. Alright, let me just think about this. Probably need to start it from here. So I feel like I need to go through the entire square. Oh, can I go again after I hit one of those? Is that how it works? No? What happened up top? Because I went through. Okay, well that's how I need to do it, but I don't understand why it worked that way. Oh, it resets after I go through once. I see. I did not realize that before. Also, that doorbell sounds a lot like my actual doorbell. Freaks me out. Ah, there's so many of them. Nope, that's death. Wait, can I go that way? Ah! No, I must get the strawberry. George says, I struggle with imposter syndrome a lot and anxiety. I often worry I will mess up. Yeah, I think part of it for me is valuing too much the things that I do and not valuing who I am enough. I think is part of my issue. Oh. Or if I'm not accomplishing things, it hurts my self-worth quite a lot. Which has its good parts. It does make me driven to do things, but when you're struggling to do those things, then it can definitely be torturous. Strawberry up there, but I'm not going for 100%, not for stream. Yeah, it does sound a lot like a doorbell, doesn't it? Which I wonder, going forward, if that is, like if this is in our mind, and the doorbell is going to wake us up at the end or something like that. Because it doesn't sound so much like a doorbell. It's just such an odd choice. Oh, I missed it. I think that's what I gotta do. I think I'm just timing it wrong. Yeah, even when I was a programmer, I would suffer from imposter syndrome because, like, wouldn't know how to do something. And would have to like look it up and learn how to do it. And it's like I've been doing this for half my life at this point. I should know this stuff. But you learn to not compare yourself as much to other people and more to yourself yesterday. Because you're not seeing the full picture when you're looking at other people. Because plenty of other programmers do that too. Look stuff up. Especially as you get more efficient, you're just copying and pasting a lot of your old work. You're not thinking about how to do that old stuff anymore. You've already kind of gotten past it. And so if you have to write it from scratch, it's like, oh, how do I actually do that again? This part is blind for me. I haven't actually played this one before. Oh no. Darn. Just go a little further today. I'm having a lot of fun, but we do have more games to go with. Also, this is a hard one to play and talk in depth about. See, I think something like Hot Ones isn't super interesting for me. Like, I love that guy as an interviewer, but having them eat hot sauce isn't super an interesting part. But have people play like a Celeste and be interviewed. Now there's a series. Going down to the depths. Actually, that's interesting as well. Something I hadn't considered. Up until this point, we had been climbing up the mountain. This is the first part that I can think of. I mean, some of the parts are a little more open, and you have some choices of where you can go, but largely the progress was upwards. But this, the progress is downwards. So we're sort of in a downward spiral here. We're being overtaken, chased by our self-doubts, and we're losing progress because of it. I think that's brilliant. Oh, bam! Up? Don't know why. This place seems overly complex. What are these floating things? I don't know if I've seen those before. Can I put them together to form a strawberry? Huh, I don't know. Interesting. Ah! I'm doomed. Darn. I gotta start over here. Okay. Well, didn't mean to do that. Am I dead? I think I'm dead. No! Darn. I thought I was holding right, but I was holding up and right. Just gotta not freak out. And it's easier to not freak out once your skills get better at something. Like everyone, you know, learning something new, taking on a challenge is an uncomfortable experience. And facing anxiety is a normal part of that. Like that's just part of the game. So don't let it freak you out. It will fade over time as you become more comfortable doing the thing. You just have to keep at it and get over that initial hurdle, which is the hardest part, and it can last a different amount of time depending on the person, depending on the skill. Hello? Madeline? Are you calling from a payphone? Yeah? No, wait. You called me. What are you talking about? It doesn't matter. I'm in trouble. Being chased by someone. Don't really understand what's going on, but I know I'm in danger. I can feel it. It's another anxiety thing where you just feel like you're in danger, even when there's no danger to be had. Madeline, you only call me when you're panicking in the middle of the night. You don't have to make up some ridiculous story just to get my attention. I'm not making it up. You always do this. Shh, it's alright, calm down. Sorry, sweetheart. Talk to me. I'm climbing Celeste Mountain. I found this old mirror and it shattered, but part of me escaped and... I'm dreaming, aren't I? Madeline, of course you're dreaming. Haven't spoken to you in months. Why would I start now? Why am I even climbing this stupid mountain? I'm wondering the same thing. It's time to give up and go home. Oh no! Whoa, damn. I got 8. This memorial is dedicated to those who perished on the climb. Okay, so this was the area where the beginning of chapter 2 was. So we were dreaming. I was right. Alright, I'll go up and talk to this gentleman. So, that phone call, I assume there's some sort of like... Maybe that was a boyfriend or a brother? Someone we called while having panic attacks in the night, which panic attacks in the night are no fun. And there's especially no fun to have alone. And when I was alone and was having them, video games were a great comfort for me during those times. It was a time when I was in my late teens when went 11 days where anytime I would like start to drift off to sleep, would wake up with a panic attack, and just did that over and over again. It was also I don't know if caused, but was in conjunction with a bad bout of agoraphobia, where I couldn't really leave. It was the first time I was really dealing with panic attacks, and I played a lot of video games at night to try and keep myself awake, because every time I would start to drift off, I would have one. And I understood some about them, but even understanding, it's a tough thing to deal with alone. Hey Madeline, you made it. Climbing up here was tough, but totally worth it. Just look at these ruins. I took so many great pics. Want to see? Oh, sure. Theo, these are great. Maybe I'll finally hit 1,000 followers with these. Oh, we need to formally commemorate this occasion. Take a selfie with me. I don't know if it's such a good idea right now. Come on, it's easy, like this. Her face is perfect. I guess I could be a mom. Sorry about that. Don't worry, I won't post that one. No, it's alright, you can post it. I'm just not photogenic. Madeline, don't be so hard on yourself. No one looks good without a filter. It's true as well. Something to keep in mind. Don't compare yourself to other people before, but definitely don't compare yourself with people on social media, because a lot of times people only put the very best version of themselves out there. This game is Celeste, but we're just about to switch it up. What made you want to try photography? My grandpa was really into it. Apparently he was semi-famous in the photography world. Don't know if I'll ever be that good at it, but it's nice to feel close to him. So you're determined to climb the entire mountain? Yeah, I told myself I would. I'm done breaking promises to myself. Life goals, I dig it. Doubt I'll make it to the top like you, but I'm not ready to turn back just yet. You getting any data up here? Don't have a smartphone. Madeline, I don't even know how to respond to that. yes, not comparing yourself to others is difficult. And even once you get past that, it's tough to not compare yourself unrealistically as well. To make too many demands of yourself, to have this like perfect vision of yourself and what you should be, rather than accepting who you are. Now that doesn't mean you can't continue to grow and challenge yourself, but there is a fine line there. And it's tough to find, and it's different for everyone. All right, I think that'll do it for Celeste. Good stuff, though. Do I want to save? Sure. Okay. There we go. All right. If you haven't, I really recommend you finish this game later. It's got a pretty relevant message later in the game. No, I definitely will. It's one that's been on my list for a long time. I just never started it because I thought it would be more difficult than it was. I'd heard it was quite difficult, and I wasn't looking for a stressful experience at the time. But at least so far, it's not that difficult. Okay, so the next thing I want to show off, I don't know if I would call it a game. It's called Spirit City Lofi Sessions. Let's play this here. Wonder if I'll be able to... it doesn't matter. Whatever. Kabam. It's on Steam. I think I just started... I'd read about this before and had bought it to check it out, but I just started looking at it yesterday for the stream. It's more of like a productivity tool, I think, than a game. Although you do gain XP, you do level up. But I think it has some really neat ideas, and it's made me want to make something like this myself, using some of the concepts I have in my Roll with Punches journal, free over at rollpunches.com, and turning it into something like this. I don't think would be too terribly difficult. So, like I said, is it a game? I don't know, but it's kind of like a productivity tool. So you are represented in this as a character. You have different character customization stuff that you can do. You can change, like, you know, your head stuff. You don't have to have horns, but you can. You can change clothing, colors, and there's different unlockables with this currency that you get. Spirit credits. You get XP for things like daily logging in, daily task, daily timers. I have sort of a similar thing in my journal of this idea of XP and leveling up. Now, I kind of apply it to real life and rewards, where this is more virtual rewards, but I think that's interesting as well. And I have a little cat. I can change the way the room looks, and again, you can unlock stuff. And most importantly, I can always make it nighttime. Get rid of that blasted sun. But so it has some built-in lo-fi music that you can study to or work with. Some different stations here, but you can go and put in whatever music that you wanted to here, which is very cool. You can also turn different sounds on and off. You can have rain, fireplace, white noise to help you concentrate. You can turn off the music and just have that. But it also has to-do lists that you can put in. And again, it's giving you XP for doing a daily task. So yesterday I prepared for the Mind Game 2 streams. Today I have a task of get ready for Adam's birthday. So pretty simple stuff. You can just type things in. You can move things around in the task. You can exit things out. Simple but effective. The timer is really cool. So you can have, I've been utilizing this a lot recently for my writing, where I will work for a certain amount of time and then I will take a break for a certain amount of time. And that just, because I'm autistic and I get hyper focused on things. And so I tend to just keep doing a thing until the thing is done or until I just completely fall apart. And so to help me not do that, I've been using this idea of doing something for like 15 or 20 minutes, focusing on it completely, and getting as much done as I can during that time, and then having a break time where I remove myself and do something else, something relaxing. And it's been effective for me. It's been helping me write more, especially because instead of looking at the piece of paper and just being sort of blocked, because I sort of have that time limit pushing me forward, I will just write. Like it helps me get over that initial hurdle, and then taking those scheduled breaks helps me stop from being burnt out by the thing, and just makes me more productive overall. So like, even though logically in my head it's like, well, if I worked for 30 minutes, just if in a 4-hour span I just work that straight, I should be more productive than if I took 5 or 10 minute breaks every 20 or 30 minutes. But I've noticed that I have been a lot more productive building those breaks in. And so you can set this timer, and if you minimize this application and you're working in Word or whatever, you still hear the game and you'll hear that timer go off. It's not quite as noticeable as maybe I would like it to be, but I can probably go in and like change the sound effects or something to make it a little bit louder. But I have noticed that I do get so focused that I don't hear it sometimes. So I would like it to be a little bit louder. You can also add in a number of these, so I could do this 4 times in a row, and it will ding me again when it's time to start working. So I think that's cool. Habits. So you can come and set things that you want to do every day or once a week or something like that. So for example here, I want to write a poem every day, right? So I can check it off as I come in and do it. I want to do yoga every day, but I want to clean the bathroom once a week. So you can add these in, you can type them to be whatever. Play Celeste. And I want to do that, every other day, as an example. So you can do that. And then you can clear them out if you don't want them anymore. Oops. Go back. Just click out. And then the journal, I think, is very cool as well. So you can come in here, you can type your stuff. You can do free writing, but there's also prompts here. And a lot of these prompts are the same ones that I have over in the Roll with the Punches journal. What's on my mind this morning? What am I looking forward to today? How does my body feel today? What can I do today to take care of my physical and mental health? What are my top priorities for the day? What are some challenges I might face and how might I prepare for them? So I like doing that at the end of the day, thinking about the next day, and try to put all those worries down on paper, and they'll be there for me when I wake up tomorrow. But I don't need to hold them in my head overnight. How's my day today? What am I grateful for today? Did I accomplish my goals? What are 3 things that were great about the day? That's a gratitude journal. I think that's great. Something I highly recommend keeping. It helps you look for positive things in your life. You can focus it just generally for anything, but you can also focus it on individual people as well. So, for example, if you want to focus on being more grateful for your spouse, for example, you can write three things you're grateful for them about today. And then, what is the most fun thing I had today? And then, you just type. Now, I would like if there was a way to export this somewhere else. Like, this stuff does stay around as long as you have this game on the computer. I don't know if it has cloud saves or anything like that, but I would like a way to be able to export this stuff. I guess you could go through and you could copy and paste this stuff over somewhere else as well. But I don't know. I thought it was interesting. It is a little pricey. I think it was like $12 on Steam. But I think in a minimalistic kind of way, it does a lot of the things that I sort of preach and have helped me a lot. All in the sort of one thing that also gives you just another reason to do it, and that you are gaining these levels and you are gaining this XP that you can spend in your apartment and on your character. But I am seriously considering making something like this myself. And if I did, what's the kind of things that you would like to see in it? Because I've showed you pretty much everything that it has to offer. But is there anything else that you would be interested in seeing? Because if I did it, I think I would want to make it for mobile as well as PC. And I'd probably coach it in like more of a dungeon crawl kind of theme, because that's kind of more my speed. You can pet the cat, obviously. 10 out of 10. One Not asked if I ever played Journey. That's one of the games we're going to be checking out today. I think that's the last game I'll check out today, because I might accidentally beat it. So I definitely want to make sure we talk about The Missing. But yeah, if you guys want to type ideas as I set up the next game, just kind of want to show this off. Thought it was interesting. All right, let's boot up The Missing. Actually, I'm going to go into Twitch this time and change the game from Celeste to The Missing. And then we'll launch it. I had some trouble getting this one to launch yesterday. Hopefully we don't have any issues. Just it launched in a weird resolution for me. Hopefully we're doing good. Okay. That looks good. No. Stop. Transition. This game was made with the belief that nobody is wrong for being what they are. Swear he's starting it off strong. With just a incredible message to start things off, and a message that deals so thematically appropriately with the rest of the game. Do I want to just continue? Let's see where this puts us. The Missing. Habitka game? I might check that out, because I'm interested in seeing what else is out there in that space. Okay, cool. This is a fine spot. So, I found the controller stuff is a little weird. I probably need to go into Steam and change some things, but...
Where are you?
Let's see. I probably should show the intro. Probably. So we came to an island with Emily, who appears to be some sort of romantic interest for our character, JJ. And this island is said to, like, reveal your true self. And we were around a campfire with her. She disappeared. Now we're searching for her. So this is a puzzle platformer developed by Swery, who also made Deadly Premonition, along with some other great games.
Is anyone there?
And so you can call out for Emily. You can crawl.
Woohoo!
You can jump. If there are rocks around, you can pick them up and throw them, Yoshi's Island style. And then there's one other mechanic that we're just about to get here. Thank you for the sub, for goatness sake. Also, I don't think I mentioned it yet, but we are raising money for Vibrant Emotional Health, which runs the 988 crisis and suicide prevention hotline in the United States. You can just call or dial 988 on your phone. They also have a website where you can chat online as well. And so we're raising money for them. We're trying to hit $5,000 this month. We'll be having a special rock band stream the last Friday of the month, I do believe. But if we can hit the goal before then, we can make the goal even higher when we get there. Okay. But we're almost to the point here where we're going to gain our next mechanic. But yeah, this game connected with me, maybe like emotionally, maybe more than any game I've ever played. So we're running, despite the danger, to find our friend. I do have an entire playthrough of this one on the Blind Wave Gaming channel. There's highlights, and there's also the uncut playthroughs. You can see me play this entire game. I went in pretty much completely blind, other than knowing it was a Swery game. And I love Swery games. So there was a lot of speculation and stuff, and now that I've played it a few times since then, I can better understand the themes, and it impresses me even more. But I think one of the biggest problems with modern gaming is an over-reliance on cutscenes and trying to impart themes and tell stories. Which, yeah, we just got crushed. Okay. Sorry. It is to impart themes and to tell stories non-interactively. And that's the primary method in which they impart their themes and try to tell their stories. So here, you get struck by lightning, and you think that would be the end, but it is only the beginning.
Sharks administer that
To our
major hemorrhage.
suffering, as it turns out.
Major hemorrhage. Major hemorrhage.
We're going to get saved by the moose. Saved somewhat. Sound effects still get me. Doesn't matter how many times I've played it. I can't die here.
Why?
Yeah. Turns out that lightning strike has made us immortal. And we can now use our suffering in order to progress through the puzzles. Yeah, the song. Gonna start tearing up again. This game deals with depression, it deals with suicide, it deals with self-harm, it deals with identity and self-loathing. But it also deals with love, finding a way to love oneself, loving another. But the game deals with, having something about your identity that other people in your life do not accept. And it's just such a hard-hitting theme. Oh no. Okay. And it's handled just so amazingly well. We should see a puzzle here in a second, but I think it's the best video game I've ever played that uses its mechanic in order to reinforce its theme. Like, we saw Celeste before, and I think this idea of like overcoming a challenge and the game being challenging and climbing the mountain is a good one. And I think there's a lot of good examples out there. We'll talk about Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons probably in this series at some point. I think that also has a tremendous moment in particular. Okay, that's this button. JJ, you okay? Who the fuck? It's me, FK, your plushie. For real. Seriously. Whoa, I can talk now. Bye. Wait. Please, JJ. OMG. You're so mean to me. No way. You made me cry. Seriously, I can't even see you now. Am I dead? Wow, so amazed. Seriously? Dead? What you mean? I thought lightning hit us. This is such a stupid dream. What am I even doing? You okay? Don't have time for this. Bye. Yes, the red glasses are for overstimulation. Okay, what was I talking about? The idea of... Still gets me. So, we can purposely take damage in order to change our form and in order to solve puzzles. And just, like, as an autistic, it makes me think of, I sort of relate it to masking, where you can change yourself, and you can change how you act in order to better blend in and to get through a challenge of life. But that's doing this damage to you. And so that's how I relate it, what this game is saying to my own self. Now, the game deals with things like gender.
Emily, where are you?
So I think that the message and the themes can touch anyone who's felt like they've had to change something about themselves in order to fit into the world, or to better be accepted by those around them. And I think it's so visceral in how it's able to express that. Like I said, I think it's the best I've ever seen. And I wish it was something games focused on more, rather than just trying to make, the most realistic looking cutscenes or graphics. Because, there's a lot I don't like about The Last of Us, but I think everything people like about The Last of Us could be done in another medium. But I don't think everything that The Missing does can be done in another medium.
Where are you? Emily, where are you?
Jack, I recently got diagnosed with ADHD, so I might give the glasses a try. Yeah, I recommend it. So, Maggie's definitely helped me a lot in sort of rediscovering a lot of these tools. Some of which, in some form, I used to use as a kid, but kind of gave up on, again, because, this need of wanting to fit in better, or to just force my way through that pain, because I thought it was like a weakness or something. But when I was a kid, I used to wear not ear plugs like I wear now, but like headphones that fit into your ears a lot. And I used to have these shooting glasses that were tinted that I used to like to wear a lot when I was just sort of on my own. And now, I feel good enough about myself, I guess, that I can just do those things. I don't need to worry about people's approval. Oh, stuck. Thank you for joining us, Courtney. We'll be checking out Journey as well today. And I think that'll be the last one for today. But I'm going to be back again next week. I think I'll be checking out Psychonauts 2. Will be one of the ones that I want to check out. Also, how do I say it? Is it Chicory, A Colorful Tale? Something along those lines. If you have any other games that you would like me to check out, make sure to put them in the comments. Or to... type them in stream. Okay, I need a rock, right? I think that's just a donut under there. Which the donuts give you additional story bits. So I recommend getting them, but we don't really need them here. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to show this off. I do want to get to the next puzzle because I want to show how the puzzles work. Okay, so I should just be able to throw this over there and then throw it again. This button. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Get it. Ha ha ha.
Woohoo!
Okay, so we can crawl under. Okay, and so we can't fit through normally, I believe. So you have different stages that you can get yourself to. Until you get down to where you're just ahead. And then you can regenerate. And so you can also toss your own limbs, like you can the rocks. Life is Strange Before the Storm is another one on my list. It's one I haven't played. I played the original Life is Strange, and Before the Storm has been on my list for a long time. No. I need to throw. The sound effects in this game. It's tough. So we need to do that time. Yes, the game needs to have a mental health focus of some kind. But that's pretty broad. Like, journey, I think, is a metaphor for life's journey. And I don't think its theme is quite as overt as The Missing. But I think even the subtle way that it sort of expresses itself, I think classifies. Okay, but yeah, that's The Missing. If you want to see my entire playthrough of that, that is over on Blind Wave Gaming. You can check that out. It's a tough one. You can also see me just talk about how much the game means to me while being very emotional. In like the last, I don't know, hour or so of that playthrough. But absolutely fantastic. Love The Missing. Highly recommend checking it out. But it is an emotionally draining experience.
Is anyone there?
Okay. Let's just hold F4. Okay. So there's one more that I think I want to cover today, which is Journey, which is older. When did Journey come out? It came out on the PS3. $2012. Like all these games, it's another one that I recommend trying for yourself. There's something really special about this that I don't think you'll get watching someone else play it. All right, switch over. I also quite enjoy Flower from the same company. Let's start from the beginning, I think. You used to watch your older brother play Flower on PS3 as a child. You hated it, but played it recently and loved it. Perspectives change, and that's something to remember as well. You know, if you're not feeling the best about yourself, if you're depressed, I think perspectives can change, and things that didn't work for you one year might work for you another. Like we just sort of, we grow, we change. So we can't give up. I think this game is still gorgeous. Just another example where like you can do a lot with an art style, and being at the pinnacle of technology isn't a requirement in order to make something beautiful. Yeah, we're beginning our journey alone. Again, this game's called Journey, which I forgot to change the game. Let me do that real quick. Edit. Journey. Okay. But like I said, it's only really a 90-minute game. It's something to take your time in, I think, and use it as a chance to reflect, sort of meditate on what it's trying to say. Because if you're just trying to rush through it, I think you'll get frustrated, and I think you'll sort of miss the point. So there's some awesome movement stuff with sliding down the hills, but your actual just sort of movement speed is pretty slow. So we can walk, we can move the camera, and we can chirp. We'll see what that chirping does in a little bit. And we might also have another special moment where you don't necessarily have to make this journey alone. If someone else is also making the journey, you can meet them in the world and you can journey with them. Or you can journey without them. All right, we're starting to build our scarf. Which gives us another ability. The ability to fly, if only for a little bit. But yeah, that jump, it might be my favorite jump in video games. I'm trying to think of one I like more. But it feels like how they talk about with Peter Pan flying, right? Where you have to focus on a happy thought, just sort of be free of sort of negative burdens in order to be able to do it. I don't know, it's just every time I hit the jump button in this, it just feels so uplifting. But yeah, I was playing this yesterday, and I thought I would just play it for a few minutes, because I knew this was a shorter game anyway, so I didn't really need to get in and save in order to kind of show what the game was about. And I just, all of a sudden, had been playing it for like 40 minutes, and then I came across another player. We just started going through everything together, and I felt this responsibility to not abandon that player. Like, I had to go. I had to go into work. But when before I would have given up and stopped the journey, because now I was with this other person, I felt this strong urge to continue. We'll see if we come across someone here. Don't know how many people were playing. I was shocked to come across someone yesterday because I'm like, who's playing Journey on Steam in 2024? But somebody was. Just shows the power. It does only take one other person. So you see my chirp reacts to some things in the world. Oops, shouldn't have done that. So once you jump, you can't jump again if you don't have those symbols on your scarf, and you gain those symbols via the floating cloth here. Okay, there we go. I had to hold chirp to summon them. The day's going well. Get up there. Yeah. So we collect those, and our scarf grows a little bit longer. And I kind of see that as like building your toolkit in order to help regulate yourself. Like, you know, things like meditation, exercise, good diet, journaling. And that just helps you fly a little bit longer. It helps make the journey a little bit easier. But you do have to put in some extra effort. You have to discover those things. You have to find them, and you have to put in a little bit more effort in order to get them. But it turns out to be worth it. Have you ever thought of doing a mental health podcast or audiobook? A great voice for it and a great understanding. And that's kind of what Roll with the Punches is. If you go to my YouTube channel, Roll with the Punches, where I have videos and just talking about this stuff. Not as many videos as I would like, but continuing to build upon. I think it might be interesting to do a podcast. I would probably want someone else to do it with. Should actually probably search out and try to find some good mental health podcast. I usually focus more on like books and articles and things like that, but I'm sure there's some really good podcasts out there. I have considered writing books though, and then maybe doing audiobooks for those. But I do have a free campaign journal over at rollpunches.com, which is like a workbook that has a lot of techniques in it. So some of this, so as we go through the game, we fill out more and more of this tapestry, and I think I understand, you know, this I think is the winding road of life, or like the tree of life. It has all these different twists and turns, but continues to still be a straight path. And before that, where it's sort of, you know, the mountain kind of illuminated the stars. I'm not sure exactly how to unpack that. If it's like a spiritual awakening, or like recognizing your place in the heavens. Understanding that there are greater forces out there, I'm not sure. But this is like going back and reading a great poem where you discover new meaning all the time. It's a very short experience, but one I highly recommend. What languages and frameworks do I have experience coding in? I mean, quite a few, but I started with and have worked most with the sort of languages that evolved from BASIC. It's like Visual Basic and things like that. But recently, it's mostly been C#, and then a bunch of like, web languages. Games like this are a nice step back from the violence and fast-paced games that are the norm. Yeah. I think there's room for all kinds of different games and experiences. I would like, because I need to play more shooters. Because I'm sure they exist. But I would like to find shooters that have strong themes that are reinforced by their gameplay. Like Doom Eternal is maybe my favorite first-person shooter. I quite like Half-Life 2. But like the gameplay loop of Doom Eternal, I think is absolutely tremendous. But I think the theme of that is kind of a mismatch from the gameplay. Because like we have someone else. So yeah, you'll come across someone else on the journey. Notice their scarf is a lot longer than mine. And they've actually done some of the work here for me. So what I normally like to do if I'm journeying with someone else that I feel like maybe is playing the game for the first time or something is I would just sort of walk with them and kind of give them company and try to give them like little hints of places they could go and things they could do, but not actually like solve the puzzles. But maybe I'm in this guy's game. Although normally you can tell because of the length of the scarves. But yeah. And I could just ignore this guy and go. But there's no voice chat in this game, there's no text chat, there's no way to communicate with this person whatsoever other than just these little chirps and where you're going. But it still manages to create such a connection. Like I said, I was heartbroken closing out of that game yesterday because I just felt like I connected with this person in this world on this journey, and like there was no way for me to tell them why I was leaving, that I had to go to work or anything. Like I just all of a sudden wouldn't be there anymore. And so it really does push you. Even though there's not a lot of challenge here in terms of gameplay, and there's not rewards in the traditional sense of like new cutscenes or new abilities necessarily or things like that, it still manages to push you forward. Cyberpunk theme, cyber stuff, yeah. I don't think Cyberpunk does a very good job either. At least the Cyberpunk I played. I've heard it's quite a bit different now. And like, I didn't stick with that person. Are they even still here? Oh, I think I see. Nope. It's just more floating things. They might have gone. Yeah, my scarf is much longer, so I can jump and float even farther now. See how it drains slowly as you use it? There they are. But yeah, if you get close enough to the person, you start to glow. Yeah, highly recommend this game if you haven't played it before. It's on Steam. It works great. Controller support and everything. You can probably still play it on PS5, I would imagine. I imagine it's in PSN somewhere. As part of PlayStation Plus or whatever. I just wanted to do it here because it's easier for me to capture my PC. Yeah, and then you got to take time to meditate and reflect. You have to take time to slow down. And then, what is this white figure? Like, is this the ideal version of yourself? Is this like a nirvana, an understanding? Could be many different things. Journey's on PS4 and is on sale right now, at least in the UK. Nice. Like I said, it is short, but it's something I go back to over and over again. Like I said. A video game, but also a poem. Star Commando, I'm not 100% following what you're looking for, like a game that incorporates mechanics that follows its themes. What do you want all of the mechanics to follow the theme, or can there just be a few? I think there could just be a few. So we saw it in The Missing, right? I don't think throwing the rocks... I mean, I guess it kind of does. Like, you know, if you think about it hard enough and you work hard enough, you can relate almost anything to anything. But... casting stones, throwing stones is something that historically and even now is done literally and metaphorically against, you know, people you don't agree with or things you don't agree with, or things you want to punish, right? So I guess that kind of also fits as well. But like I was talking about Doom Eternal, so I feel like the sort of premise of Doom Eternal is rip and tear, right? And it is visceral, but I feel like the gameplay of Doom Eternal is so... It requires so much thought and is so tactical in order to do it properly that I feel like the mishmash between the theme and the mechanics. I love the mechanics. It's probably my favorite first-person shooter mechanics I've ever played. But that sort of rage that I think it's trying to convey it doesn't fit with the complexities of the systems and how much you have to think and adapt in order to play. I still love the game, but that's kind of what I'm talking about, where there's maybe a clash between the theme in the game. And like The Last of Us, I don't mean to hate on The Last of Us all the time, but I don't think the gameplay of The Last of Us 1 super reinforces the themes. What was I think I talked about it a little last week. I'm trying to remember the example that I had. Oh yeah, in Persona 4. So I love a lot of the themes in Persona 4 about having to accept your shadow self in order to grow and move forward. But in order to do that in the game, you have to have a boss fight and you have to fight the thing. Your friends are fighting it. And I think the metaphor falls apart a little bit there. Again, it's a JRPG. Gotta have boss battles. It kind of works, but I don't think it works quite as well as with the theme. Whereas if you took like an Undertale, for example, that style of combat, if you want to call it combat, might have worked a little better in those cases. But the gameplay in Persona 4, I think, is pretty amazing. The way that you can collect all those different personas and you can merge them and you can grow them, and like there's a deep, satisfying system there. And I think it does reinforce the theme somewhat. It's just those big boss battles, I feel like, tend to not to sometimes. And again, a lot of this stuff is open for interpretation. Like, unless the designer went out there and said exactly what the intentions were. And even then, your experience counts for a lot in art. So the way I view something might not be the same way that you view it. That's what makes art great. All right, is my scarf long enough? Yeah. And then I didn't show that earlier. We had an opportunity to do that earlier as well, but that sort of rising mechanic also exists. All right. And, you know, the game isn't really telling me where to go. It's just giving me this vast desert here. I do have these guys that I can follow, but I'm just naturally drawn to the mountain. It did show me that in the that tapestry. There are things to guide me, but I can really make my own path. I don't believe the scarf gets shorter as you use the power. It just fades and you have to recharge it again. Spec Ops: The Line is a good example of a shooter that uses its mechanics in order to exemplify its themes. That one's a third-person shooter, though, right? If I'm remembering correctly. It's been a long time since I've touched it. I need to recharge my scarf. I probably should have did it before I left. Should be somewhere around here to do it, though. Yeah, cover shooter sounds right. Hear the gears grinding. very different sound than we've heard before. Before it was just nature. Now there's something else. Oh no, he's stuck. Be free! Take me with you. Make a Gears comment and Gears sound effects begin in the game. My god, no, you're Rob Snyder from Surf Ninjas. Go watch that movie and reaction if you don't know what I'm talking about. Hi, Lewick. Hi, Rick in chat and surfing into 43 months. Rob's actually kind of a jerk these days. I do not doubt it. You'll be shocked to find I have not kept up with Rob Snyder. Nah, never stop believing. Yeah, I also recommend, if you like this game, I think Flower is tremendous as well. I want to say the other game before this one was Flow, which I'm not as big of a fan of, but it's been a long time since I've played Flow. I'm not sure what all that game company has done since. Is it possible to be more than one person in the game? I don't believe so. I believe it's only possible to journey along with one other person. Let's fly. Look at all these dudes. Now it's a snowboarding game. Never know what you're gonna find. And we met someone again. Maybe it's the same someone. Maybe it's not. Can we clear it? Yeah! Fuck me, he cleared it. Yeah, the music is amazing. Kenna Bridge of Spirits is a good game about grief. I agree. I enjoyed that game quite a bit. That last boss fight was a tough one. That's the only bit of the game I didn't really like was the design of that final boss, but did feel good to beat it. it's another game where like, I love the atmosphere, I love the themes, I like parts of the gameplay. It's not a perfect game, but it is a beautiful one. Oh, and so you'll notice if you have someone and they're outside of your camera, that part of the camera will glow so you can find them again. It's sort of your light. And see, now this person has a much shorter scarf, and they are sort of guiding me on what I should do and not just doing it myself. Or I should say doing it themselves. But yeah, just that idea of going along with someone, helping them on their journey. And actually, you know, there might be one other game that I want to talk about real quick here. Again, is it a game? Maybe not. But it does focus on this idea of helping other people on their journey. And again, I don't want to leave this person now that I'm with them. And they're cool, and I want to journey with them into the end. But I think I will show off one other thing before we end today. But yeah, Journey, incredible. Highly recommend going and play it. And don't think of it like a game that you were trying to beat. Enjoy it for the experience that it is. I'm going to try to say goodbye to this person. Goodbye. And one of my favorite pause screens in all of games. It's just this wonderful, peaceful vista of where you are. You get to continue hearing the music. Ah, damn. Damn, it's so good. Journey. All right, I hadn't actually planned to do this one, but at least not today. But it fits thematically, and we got time, so let's check it out. That might be a little loud. Take that down for you and for me. Okay, so this one is called Kind Words. Lo-fi chill beats to write to. Hello, I'm Ella and I'm new in town. I'm your new mail deer. I'm your first mail deer. My job is to carry letters back and forth between people who need cheering up. Which is only everybody, because everybody gets sad or scared. And I'm even a little nervous about my new job here. Don't suppose you'd write me an encouraging note, please? Then I'd deliver it to myself and feel better about my job. Dear, dear, I'm so excited for you. Just think of... So excited for your new job. You'll do amazing. So did anyone have pen pals when they were growing up, or maybe even now? Probably less of a thing now, but when I was in school, there was some sort of program where we would team up with schools in other countries, and we would have pen pals where we would write to them, like write on paper and send it via postage to another person, and they would write back, and you would just continue that. This is kind of that, but as a game / not game. What a kind letter, thank you. Before I register you with the post office, I need to make a couple things super clear. Kind Words is full of real people talking about real problems. It's not a place for mean jokes, bullying, or flippant responses. Also, this isn't a place to meet people. Don't share any identifying details or links. Do what I can to keep this a safe, caring place, but I'm only one deer. You may run into a jerk or some bad advice, please report them. If you're ready to be kind and receive kindness in return, please sign here. Nice to meet you, Rick. Give me a second to register you with the post office. All set. Now, if you want letters, all you have to do is ask for them. Maybe you're worried about something, just like I was with this job. It can be scary, but don't be afraid to ask people for help. See you soon. So again, got our little space here that we can decorate and change. But you can find requests of letters that people sent out, and you can reply to them, and then they'll get that reply. Recently, I discovered that I've never known how to love a person. All dates of my life, it always was emotional dependence. Now I'm 21, feeling afraid because I only consider as love people who I feel emotionally dependent. I don't know what to do. You can find one that resonates with you, or you think you have something helpful to say. You can reply. You can send a message, and then they'll get that message. And the same for you. You can make a request. It's your first request for letters. I'm so proud of you. Remember, these kind folks are still strangers on the internet, so don't feel anything too specific about who you are. Do not share links or usernames to Discord, Twitch, or other websites, but do share enough about what's going on so that people can sympathize, or maybe even share something similar they struggle with. Maybe something like, I'm sad I haven't made friends at my new job, or I've got a date Saturday and I'm sure I'm going to screw it up. Whatever you're going through, you're probably not the only one. So, you know, something like, I have trouble defining my own self-worth outside of what I accomplish. I don't know how to be happy just by being me, or something like that. Then you send it out, and away it goes. They also have the 988 Lifeline, which we are raising money for right now. You can give. Down below Twitch, there is a widget where you can click and give to the campaign. There is a link on the YouTube video as well. You can give through our campaign. It goes through Tiltify, but it goes directly to them. We don't touch the money at all. And it is a wonderful cause. They also have other crisis lines. Different tools. But I think this is a wonderful idea. And I've largely seen people using it the way that it's intended. And I just think it's fantastic. And hopefully it can inspire people to put a little more kindness out there into the world. Send. Your request. I will run this right over to the post office to be copied and sent all over the world. All set. May take a little time for people to reply. They may even send you a sticker. In the meantime, write someone else a letter. Let's see. Do you like to draw? I love it. Even though I'm not very good, sometimes I feel embarrassed to show drawings I make because people might not understand or think I'm strange. Do you have any advice on how to be less embarrassed, or any tips? Gonna write your first letter. How exciting. Remember, you can't solve everyone's problems, but you can always let people know you hear them and they're not alone. Great advice. While people can't reply to your letter, they can thank you with a sticker. I don't know. Something like, not everything you do in life is to be for others. It can just be for you. Don't let others discourage you from doing Something that you love and heals you. I don't have very many stickers in this one. You do want to share with others. Feel free to communicate with them that you're anxious about sharing and not looking for criticism, just to share. Something like that. Thank you for taking the time to think about a stranger. I'll rush this right over. You can count on me to deliver this letter, but also, can I share something with you? It's not officially part of my job, but I can't help it. I've got this hobby. Can I tell you? I think you'll dig it. I'm making mixtapes, one song at a time. Discovered Soft Focus by Clark Abound yesterday, and it's so chill. Hope you like it. Don't forget you can click on the radio to change the music. I'll be back with another song tomorrow. Alright. But yeah, I just wanted to show that off. I think it's a really cool thing. It is called Kind Words. Hi, Balmy Dinosaur. It's going well. We're just about to wrap it up here. I'm going to be back on, what is today, Saturday? So I'll be back on Wednesday. This past Wednesday, I did a stream about depression. I think that is a video that could potentially help a lot of people. So if you are struggling with depression, or if you know someone who is struggling with depression, I talk about what it is, what it feels like, potential causes and treatments, and how to help someone maybe who is dealing with it. Going to be doing the same thing this Wednesday, but we're going to be focusing on anxiety this time, which is something I also have a lot of personal experience with. Again, not a therapist or a doctor. I highly recommend both of those things if you are struggling, but I can talk about my experiences and I can talk about things that have helped me. Maybe they will help you as well. And let's see, is there anything else going on? I don't even remember who streams on Mondays. Is that Eric? I know he is streaming through the God of War DLC, which is very exciting. Calvin is continuing to fight for democracy via Helldivers. Hello, Manuel. I'm doing pretty good. Calvin is Monday, okay. Some more Helldivers on Monday, which have been having a lot of fun with Helldivers too, for sure. I'm doing pretty good. These streams have been good for me. They've been good mood boosters. Feels like I'm helping people, which makes me feel good. Which brings me to one of my points for depression is don't be afraid to ask people for help, because hopefully they're like me and they like helping people. Let's see. Is there anything else going on that I need to plug? Don't think so. Just Blind Wave in general. We released a video today on the channel about recommendations on the website. Check that out. If you don't know what that is, it explains it, and it's a good way to, it's the best way to recommend shows for us that will end up if we pick stuff, or if we're looking to pick up stuff because the schedule is a little light, that's the first place we go. And whenever we make polls, it's the first place we go. So, all right, well, unless anyone has any questions about stuff that we covered today, then I think that's all I got. It was a good one. Some great games. Highly recommend them. The missing can be a lot in terms of its emotional toll, so I will caution against that one a little bit. You can check out my full playthrough of that over at Blind Wave Gaming. Question, any tips on dealing with addiction in general? So I'm fortunate in that that's not really something that I've ever struggled with. The most I could say is that I feel like your mind can sort of become almost addicted to anxiety and depression, where it sort of accepts it as the default state and will continue to do what it can to revert to that. But as far as addiction, like I am probably not the best person in order to offer tremendously helpful advice, other than doing your best to focus, like to spend that energy and focus onto something more positive that you're also enjoying. Because my mind will get set upon things that I can't stop thinking about. And so I find engaging myself in something that is physical as well as takes a lot of thought helps me get away from the thing that my mind was so focused on before. So, for example, I can't just run in order to think about something else, because there's not enough going on there in order for me to focus my mind as well as my body. Boxing is a lot better for me for that. But even something as simple as stone skipping can give my mind a little bit of a break, because I have to focus on not only the technique of skipping the stone itself, which is something that I can improve, but it's a mindfulness exercise in order to look at those stones in and of themselves and figure out what's the best way to hold this, examining that stone closely or trying to find the best one to skip. That can be helpful. But unfortunately, for addiction in and of itself, it's something I would probably need to do more research on. And I will not claim to be an expert in. All right. Well, thanks guys so much. I hope you can join me again on Wednesday as we talk about anxiety. Even if not something that you struggle with, having that information in your back pocket for if you ever should can make the experience a lot less scary, kind of knowing what it's about. And you might be able to use some of that information to help someone in your life who does struggle with that. So I hope to see you then. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.